All righty then. Away we go. Welcome, everybody. Today is, let's see what this is. Hey, guys, can you mute your mic? Somebody's got a hot mic there. Autumn, I think that's you. Friday, April 9th of 2021. This is the Realty Classroom Sales Training Call, which, you know, I'm always excited to do. Sorry, I got a bunch of technical things going on here at once today. So let's get that clubhouse going. So again, the TRC Sales Training Call, Friday, April 9th of 2021. And I know, Ann, I did see something come in from you. So I know you were rip-roaring ready to go. So just let me know that you are there. Lauren, I see you on Clubhouse. Yep, hang on. Okay, cool. Let me just see. You sent it to the Realty Classroom, I suppose?
Maybe, yes.
Yeah, cool. By the way, bravo. I give you a big compliment to Adam last week. I was laughing because I was saying everybody was like so trying to protect you. I said to Adam, I said, she's tougher than all of them. Why are they all cringing? Like, she's in here every week. She's not whining. What are they whining for her for? Right? So
right.
I give you the tough girl award for being tough enough to show up. Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I'm like, why is everybody diving on top of her? Get out of her way. She's busy. She's busy getting really good at this. Yeah, you are. You're working hard at it. And we talked about that second beat here. So, all right. So ISA. Oh, Maggie, did I see some stuff from you too? Are you in here? So, Ann, I have some stuff from you. Maggie, Sarah, Russell. I got some stuff here. Good. I got some action. So I'm going to try to get as many as I can. I think, keep it close to the hour today. So here's one of my calls this week. Philip, you want me to go there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's just listen to it raw. No bias. Let's listen. Here we go.
It's hard to understand.
Hello. This is Philip.
Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Hi, Philip. This is Ann with Paradigm Realty. And the reason I'm calling you is because I saw your beautiful house on live today in Wildomar, and I noticed that it didn't sell. So I just want to send you some free information that will help you sell it the next time. Can I do that?
Sure, why not?
Love it.
Okay. So let me just verify a few things here. Your address is 33657 Mill Pond Drive.
Yes.
Hello? Okay, very good.
Hello. I don't have very good signal here.
I'm sorry, what?
I said it's not very good in the plant.
The reception's
Sorry,
not
you're
Yeah,
very
it's
good.
terrible
You're not very good,
reception.
what?
I said it's not very good here.
Reception. Yeah.
Oh, your reception.
There you
Okay.
go. You got it.
So just let me ask you a few questions. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to sell your house?
Okay. So right there, it's off again. So let's just stop it, right? You really should just read off of something. You sound like are you reading off of something?
Yes, most of the time.
Can you, well, in this case, it should be all of the time until it becomes like just trained into your brain, because I can feel you're reaching. You're just so good at that first beat and it sets you up with a silver platter. Why wouldn't you just read the next one? Right? Is my thinking. So if you're just saying, wonderful, let me just confirm the address is this. It's just learning how to close out that first beat. Wonderful. Is the mailing address this? But you just, for some reason, you feel lost to me. So tell me what like your workspace looks like, because I think this might be as simple as a workplace issue.
Well, actually, right now I'm in Florida visiting with my family.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm
Okay.
in a hotel room.
Well, all right. Well, in a perfect world, tell me more so in a perfect world, when you're at home, what does your physical space look like? Because I think for telemarketers especially, this is a massively important issue to make the workspace very, very comfortable. Okay. So in fact, in our world, Autumn has moved home. I bought her a better chair, and that allowed her to move, to even a better space within her own home, to use a table with drawers, etc. It's all about that comfortable place. Like, look, when I come and do this sales training call, presuming I'm not in some weird situation, I'm sitting here in this studio basement where I record the podcast, and it is like Very much easy to deal with you all. Right in front of me, I have all of my packages that I refer to. I have a little stand for the clubhouse. I have my Yeti microphone. I have, one camera there and then the Facebook camera here. And I'm saying that to you because, and I got my coffee here, right? I mean, like I'm comfortable in this space right here. I'm ready for this call on Fridays because I'm in my spot. Don't underestimate that value, right?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
so when you get
I
there,
got a little off track because the reception was not good, and he's a little hard to understand. But
that might throw you off a little bit, but it shouldn't throw you off from the routine, right? What is happening to them shouldn't be so easy to rattle you if you just have these scripts as you develop them into your own memory and your own core training. That's why training takes so long. We're just trying to repeat it. And I think there's some argument there in somebody's brain that, well, that's not creative and that's not how people are. And I don't want to sound like an automaton. That's all nonsensical excuses, all of that, right? The truth is you're trying to serve somebody. And that's like somebody at Burger King or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A these days saying, I just decided I wouldn't put the mayo on there. I just decided not to cook the fries that long. It's not the way it works to give the consumer the best experience. We've beaten on a formula that gives the consumer on that phone call and then in the house subsequently the best experience. And it's about them. We're there to serve. So there will be plenty of time for creative in that relationship when now you've done the duty of hitting your beats and then it becomes human. I mean, there's no doubt about it that that's what happens, for sure. But what I want you to do is understand the minute you got to this point and why I stopped it so quickly is that you just sort of start ad-libbing. Now you have pieces of it, but it's like, well, wait a minute. Why did you put the B where the A goes? Because the B is intended to clarify the A being, this is second beat now. This is what you and I are working on since last week.
yeah.
Wonderful. May I confirm the mailing address is this? You can barely hear them, right? So we fight through that, but we hear a yes. Okay, good. Stop. Get over it. That's done. So now you go, great, wonderful. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. See, I didn't even hear that. So see, you're launching off into something without completing the other. Look, and just so it makes you feel better, we spent an entire 2 hours on the mastermind walking through some big macro issues for sellers and buyers. And then we went super detailed micro into this moment here, where we talked about beats being completed. And a lot of the mastermind members say, well, what do you mean about beats? Well, okay, beat one, your introduction of authority to this person that is probably in need of information that you have and you want to get it to them. Get that confirmed. Now, a lot of telemarketers, when they first join the group, they make a presumption they're successful if that package goes out. That's not the goal. That's the offer that we fulfill on, so that 2 victories come from that. One, you might get right on the phone, which is they give you more time to go to the second beat. 2, I don't have time for you right now. Just send it. Yep, that's fine. Call me next week. Okay. Now the physical package can help you set up an opportunity for the second beat. So whether you can get the second beat in the first call or subsequently when the package arrives, doesn't matter to me. You're going to do your best. We all want the first scenario, but it's not reality. Right? So you have to be very clear in the first beat in its entirety. Your tone is wonderful. I'm going to go back and play it, but I'm going to show you where your springboard into beat 2 is you rush it a little bit. And I think that's what gets you going, right? Get a little bit off. Here we go. Ready? Listen to it. It's very subtle. I mean, your tone is so great in the first part. It's almost like, well, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong. Well, there is, because we want to spring into the second beat. So here we go.
Hello.
Hello, this is Philip.
Yes, speaking to this.
Hi, Philip. This is Ann with Paradigm Realty. And the reason I'm calling you is because I saw your beautiful house online today in Wildomar, and I noticed that it didn't sell. So I just want to send you some free information that will help you sell the next time. May I do that?
Sure, why not?
Perfect.
Okay. So let me verify a few things here. Your address is 33657 Mill Pond Drive.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Hello?
Done.
Okay.
Yes, good. Done.
Hello. I don't have very good signal here.
I'm sorry, what?
I said it's not very good in.
I'm sorry, you're not very good.
Here.
You're not very good. What?
I said reception is not very good here.
Oh, your reception. Okay. So just let me ask you a few questions.
Okay, there you go, right there. Okay, right there. And you're sort of struggling with this. I mean, look, Ann, you're a really smart woman. You can deduce that he struggles with English and reception in this moment. You can deduce that. You don't need to keep it almost feels like to me like you're fighting to get an answer from him where, just keep going. You know what I mean? It's going great so far. Just keep going. Well, you don't really need to like, what? Huh? What? Because it throws you off. Right. And there's it's not like he's objecting. The guy just said, yeah, sure, send it. And you've confirmed the address. Wonderful. I'll get that in the mail to you and I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. You missed that line. And I want you to imagine a springboard to beat 2. I'm trying to get you up the ladder as easily as I can. So I built you a springboard and you didn't use it. And so it becomes more difficult to remember where you're at when you don't. Wonderful. I'll call you next week to make sure you get it. Because in case beat 2 fails, your fallback is that you've already said, I'll call you next week to make sure you get it. You've already set it up firmly and you put a bow on the first beat, which sets you up for success right now or the next call. Follow? Yes. So you really want to get that. It's almost like you want to get that cornerstone in that relationship so tightly that you might have an easy time right now, like Maxie did back a couple of weeks ago. She got it in there, well, and then she was able to build the house right there in one phone call, right? You might be able to do that. But if you don't, you've created a good prospect here. This guy's a good prospect, right? He's open so far. He's open to this information. So if you say, wonderful, I'll call you next week to make sure it. By the way, while I have you, instead of, let me ask you a few quick, you know what I mean? It gets kind of weird. It's not conversational anymore. This is what all of you want. You all want me to not make you an automaton. So I'm saying, well, don't do it to yourself because I'm not doing it. I'm giving you a springboard that's a natural type of evolution of a conversation that you spring up into the next level. Hey, by the way, while I have you, looks like a beautiful house. Why are you trying to sell it in the first place? Right? And just let it be. See, because the why, this is what I want to train you on. The why, there's 2 whys here. Let me deal with the one. Why am I making a big deal for you in this? Because this is the reason why he tried to sell it and he failed. So we're trying to determine, was he the problem or was there something else the problem? Because if he doesn't have a big enough why he was trying to sell it, he's probably the problem. His motivation is the problem. And we might have a flat out avatar problem right there. Well, I didn't really want to sell it. She's a friend of mine and, she needed a listing and you know what I mean? It could be one of those. Yeah. So why are we trying to do this in the first place? It looks like a beautiful house, right? And let him answer. Just be quiet. Don't feel all those little things that we tend to do. They're like word or thought whiskers. It's our own brain or mouth running at them while they have the stage. Think of yourself in the front row of a play. Hey, why are you trying to do this in the first place? And then sit back down quietly in the first row and listen. Let him unfold his story to you. And as he unfolds his story to you, now you could say, Nick, this is where your brain comes back in. You're making a judgment here. Is that a real reason or not? That's human discretion. Okay. Now, to keep you away from going too far with human discretion, I give you a very specific question. Wow, you can add in human judgment. Sounds like a big reason. On a scale to 1 to 10 formula, how motivated would you say you are to still sell it? And if he's in the 9 to 10, that's plenty motivated to try to go spring to where? Beat 3. Close for the appointment, right?
Right.
So you see how logically we walk these stairs? It's just so beautiful to be able to rely on a system, use some of our own human judgment about the reason, and then say reasonably what I think I should do, given that you're a 10. Why don't I just have Adam? He's the listing agent, broker owner here. Why don't I have him bring the information to you? And while he's there, not only will you get the information, you'll get his insight as to what he suggests you do to be successful. That's it. Clean information plus Adam's insight. It sounds reasonable. So now we walked up. If you got a yes, now into the seller qualifying questionnaire, where you ask a few questions to really solidify an appointment and you put a bow on the whole process. That's in a perfect one call, which, as we all know, is rare because you have to just get flat out lucky. And you have to get that, and the numbers will bring you luck over time. There will be those moments. Like Maxie had one with a buyer, flat out lucky, right? But she executes the stairs. She gets the meeting set up. Agent goes out and sells them a house. Voila. So, it's nice to hear those, Ann, but most of the time it's so critical because we're probably going to get cut off and subsequently get the accordion stretched out on us where that call ends, time begins, and we have another call that we have to make down the road. In most cases, it's only a week later once the package has arrived, and the package does you service. Because when it comes, you now become even more real than the first call. You fulfilled. And you actually gave helpful information. This is why I said you've got to have these packages delivered to your house, right?
Yeah.
It's critical. So that's where you can see it's so dang subtle. It's just so dang subtle. But that's why I'm saying it's so much better. And the beat 2 is actually really just 2 major questions. Hey, by the way, while I have you, looks like a beautiful house. Why are you trying to sell it? Let him answer. Well, that sounds like a pretty big reason. Or, geez, that doesn't sound like a pretty big reason to sell. I don't mind a personalization like that. Just don't bias them too much. Say, maybe if it's less than 9, say, interesting, right? You don't have to judge them to the low end. The high end, you want to, wow, that's a pretty big reason because you're enthusiastically setting up the appointment. On the low end, it might be geez, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to sell it still? Right? So on the negative end, let's see, because what we're trying to figure out on the negative end, we're coming close to a dead end. Is there something that he is stuck on that makes him not a 9 to 10, right? That maybe Adam could solve. Now, don't you go off and go, well, I think Adam with all his experience, don't do that, right? It's just very quick. Because I don't want you to get out in that, you know how I refer to it, the poppy fields with Dorothy, right? You don't want to get out there because then you run out of what I also say is tarmac. Your plane just crashes. You don't have enough tarmac to fly there yet because you don't have enough real estate experience. You just need to say, my guy has a ton of insight, long resume. Let me get him out to you, right? Just short, sweet. He knows what he's doing. Don't oversell him because you don't know enough to do so, right? As time goes on, you'll learn more about him. Maybe you'll get a little line. Maybe Adam will give you a line. Like I would give Autumn a line and just say, okay, my resume seems to be coming up. He's been doing it for 21 years, teaching it for 15. Just stick to that, right? Like that type of thing. So, it's just a couple quickies to soften them up, but to get back on track and say, look, this is about us bringing you some information and giving you some free insight. There's no obligation. I'm sure it matters given your circumstances. See that logic?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So questions about that, thoughts about that?
No, I get what you're saying. Fortunately, the call turned out good, but
I expect that.
The second beat was off. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Well, again, we're working on better. You're already effective, which is very important. I know Adam went out to a 900,000 last week, thanks to you. I mean, I know you're effective, but I'm obsessed with always getting better. And it's based on how they're reacting to us too. It's not just us in this vacuum here training. It's what is the consumer saying? And are they seeing the benefit? They're the boss of this call, right? So really trying to give him the best possible experience. All right. You gave me some others too. Do you want me to go up to, there's 2 of them with the same guy's name.
Yeah, this one is very interesting.
Okay. Well, so, there's 2 of them.
So, yeah, it's the same guy. because he just like cut me off after the first call. He said yes, but so then you'll see what happens in the second call.
Okay, here we go. Let's go. First call.
Hello.
Hi, James. This is Ann with Paradigm Realty. And
I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you.
Okay. My name is Ann with Paradigm Realty. And the reason I'm calling you is I saw your beautiful home in Temecula online today and noticed that it didn't sell. So I wanted to send you a free packet of information that will help you sell the next time. May I do that?
Sure, you can do that. It's really more, so less of a home and more of the land. It's 23 plus acres of land and our older home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So send me whatever information you have. So we've been working with some local real estate agent.
You are working with a real estate agent?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how long's your contract with them?
At this moment, it's expired. We're just trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Okay, got it. And let me just make sure I have
Okay. So just send it out to us. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. 36733 Glen Oaks Road.
Yeah. Okay.
I ended up calling him back.
Well, because you get a little bit stuck there. What happens? Does your reception get screwed up or something? You fade off on the call there. So you give him, because by the way, how much is this house worth? You know? Oh, guys. Hang on. Sorry. Sing along, everybody. Sing along.
Let's see, which one was this in Temecula? I think it was quite expensive.
Okay.
It was the 23 acres in an older house.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so he's just a little bit of an eccentric. All right, let's see what he does in the next one. But Ian, my gut tells me it's almost like there's a little part of you that ends up fighting it and sounding confused. Like you start off so well and sounding authoritative, but there are moments like that where you get confused. And if you sound confused, he'll hang up on you, right? And that's just what happened there. You sounded confused. So you can't lose that authoritative voice that you have down in that first beat. This is why I'm saying it's very important to be precise here, because the minute you get confused, he's like, yep, okay, thanks, because he's a high D. He's a high D. That's what he is.
Yeah,
but the offer is so effective in the beginning that's it. Quite frankly, I wouldn't have called him back. I would have just mailed the package. But let's see what you do.
Hello?
Hi, James. This is Ann again. I just needed the address that you want me to send the packet to. Do you want me to send it to the 36733 Glen Oaks Road?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to verify that. And do you mind if I ask you why you're thinking about selling the property?
Well, we're thinking about it. Mm-hmm.
And why were you thinking about selling the property?
Well, again, look at it. I'm going to stop it because my advice is going to be consistent for you today.
Yeah.
You just don't have a command over the language in the second beat. And then you got all weirdly apologetic. And apologetic is not an authority. Do you mind if I ask you? That's an apologetic. You get smoked on the phone if you start apologizing like that, right?
Right.
You know that this package is beneficial to this guy. And so, and again, you lost momentum. He's older. He's quirky. You have the package going out to him. You better be swift with these type of people.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, James, I lost you there for a second. Let me just verify that the address is boom, 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 boom. Good. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. Hey, by the way, while I have you, it sounds like a beautiful property, 23 acres. You're not doing that. And it's there for a reason. To re-compliment somebody gets them back leaning in. If you sound like you're just an interrogator, then you're dead.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Is I'm hearing you ask these passive questions with 3 or 4 short words.
Yeah.
You had the chance to use the word opportunity early in it, when you were talking about the house, say, oh, it sounds like a great opportunity, but you stretched it out into 3 or 4 short words. Why? Can I ask the question why you're selling? So what was your reason for selling, what was your reason for listing in the first place? You're dealing with a high D. I want those keywords: opportunity, reason. For me personally, snapped right out when I heard you say that. But you're kind of passive, and Danny's got it right. Almost apologetically asking a question using too many words. As a high D, I want results and get off the phone to the next one.
Yeah, you know why, Ann? We get triggered, right?
Yeah.
It's a trigger. I mean, I will give you all of the patience in the world if you don't waste my time, right?
Okay.
I mean, no
Yes.
matter who you are, if somebody calls me and I know they're making a living as a salesperson,
Right.
if they start talking at me, I say, dude, get off with me and go talk to the manager who gave you that script and tell them to tear it up because it's horrible and they set you up for failure. I say that to people all the time, right? Because I want to put them out of their misery. It's so bad. I just don't have time. First of all, you called me about something. You gave me no context. You didn't call me about my expired listing. You called me about something I don't want. So if you're going to do that on top of that, you better be super quick and to the point and make me think I need something. So we're conditioned to pick up the phone and be agitated because, in a world of over marketing and lying, my gosh, marketing has accelerated to the extent that we're overwhelmed. Lying has become more the mainstream than telling the truth. So we're intolerant. And now you exacerbate that by being a high D or an I who has ADD. Like, forget it. What? Click. It's easier to hang up on you than to say something nasty. It's actually easier to go click, right? So you can't be stumbling and fumbling. That's why training becomes very important, okay? So you really, I would recommend that you and Adam role play the second beat. I don't like to use this call for role play when I have real calls, like I told these guys yesterday. But I think there's a case for you, whether it's Adam or somebody in your own family, role play. Over and over and over and over and over, because it's really, but remember, it's logical. All right, wonderful. I'll call you next week, Danny, to make sure you got it. Hey, by the way, while I have you, it looks like a beautiful property or a great opportunity. Why are you trying to sell in the first place? Curious, humanity, right? So like if you're not a type of person that can look at a script and make it human quickly, then practice doing so, right? So, all right. Keep going. I want more of these. All right. I want more. I want to hear this become as good as the first one did. Okay. And again, here's the good news. You're close enough, like horseshoes and hand grenades. So you're getting them in listings. So bravo. I compliment you. Remember, this is intense work. We're trying to make you a black belt in the first degree, right? This has like nothing to do with yeah. And the better you get. Can you imagine how much more successful you'll get? You're already effective with him. You're already getting him into the properties I want him into. So it's already effective, but we can't rest on those laurels. We'll get smoked, right?
Right.
Good. Awesome. All right. Maggie, are you out there? Maggie from Lena's team. Maggie. Okay, not sure where Maggie is, but I'm going to play her call. So
Hello.
Here we go.
Hello. Yes, hi. My name is Maggie, and I'm calling with Prodigy Group of Remail. May I speak to the manager or the owner of the business?
Wait, what is this? Sorry.
Hello.
Hi. What is this concerning?
Yes,
Can
I
you hear
would
me?
like to speak to the manager or the owner.
This is the manager. Yeah, this is her. What is this concerning, honey?
Come on.
How can I help you?
Come on, Maggie. Get there.
Yes, I am calling because we just listed a very unique property with 1 acre lot in the city of Rialto that was used for a kennel business. And it's such a rare opportunity because there are only 4 pieces of land in the city of Rialto that can be used for kennel or related businesses. So we wanted to bring the opportunity to you. Is this something that you guys may be interested in to expand?
Where is Rialto? Where is that?
The address is 72 Acacia Avenue in Rialto, California.
Rialto, California. Can you send us information on it?
Yes, definitely. I could send you information on the property and pictures and details. Okay. Can I get
Oh,
the best
absolutely.
email address?
Can you hear me
Can I get the
okay?
email address? Yes, yes. Would you like me to text you the information or send an email?
You can do either or, whatever is easiest. You could send it to my phone. I mean, that's the best way to do it because I'm on it right now and I can see it.
Okay. Yes, definitely. Is this the best number? 661-388-8704?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Are you a realtor?
No, I'm actually an assistant to the broker, Alina Chu.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Wow. How many kennels?
It's basically like a land. It's like it's used for kennel business. So I will go ahead and definitely send you the information.
Yes.
It has all the details on there. Okay.
Okay.
And can
Okay,
you get your name like that?
My name is.
Okay. Maggie, are you here? Maggie, if you're here, I need you to unmute your microphone. This is an interesting call. Lena has Maggie making some calls outbound around just listeds. So this is great. So we actually have one to deal with. Unfortunately, I don't have Maggie. But this is good. And I think the mistake there too, and like, here's an example. You can hear Maggie is a little, right? So in other words,
Yes.
she doesn't have enough product knowledge. I mean, if I'm going to call in a just listed, Lena should have sat with me and gave me some of the, the bullet points, right? The other thing I don't love here is that it's a matter of digital. I'd love this gal to get something physical, but I like this. This is how you go drumming up, looking for buyers. And I think a lot of us just found out recently, for all you Vulcan 7 users, Autumn, you'll be interested in hearing this too, that I believe there's going to be the ability to draw a circle around a geography so that we can make some just outbound, just listed calls and just sold calls. So we're starting to evolve into the full-blown setup that we've had envisioned. But this is a pretty good call. It's just that my critique on her, I don't know what's going on with everybody's technology. Why am I hearing so many calls where it's like, huh? What? Yeah, it's just weird. In this modern technology age, just make sure it's not on your end. Whatever you do, make sure that you have great reception. You're calling from phones that are crystal clear and work. If it's on their end, then we have to muscle through it. But if it's on our end, it's terrible. And if you get thrown off by tech like that, go right back to where you were in the script. This gal has to fight too much. And what's amazing, here's a high D woman who's super intolerant of what's happening here. But yet you can see that when you call somebody who you know something about and you have something relevant to talk about, man, do they snap to. So the quicker you can tell them, I know your scenario and I have something for you, they lean in. She goes from being very short with her to, that's why I'm like, come on, get there. What are we doing? Both these calls so far, we're like, we sound like we're all stuck in the mud, right? Just keep moving. We don't want to be the other side of, right? That's what it sounds like. It's an echo chamber to me. And I'm, being a little snarky here today because the point is, I don't want you all stuck there. Keep moving your agenda. Control this thing, right? So, but that was a pretty good call. Let me go back and see if I can grab the rest of it. See what happens.
My name is, I'm going to give you Damon Andres.
I want to see how she closes. Very important.
Sounds good. I'll go ahead and send you that information shortly, and I will go ahead and give you a call in a few days just to see if you have any questions, or you could definitely contact us if you have any questions in regards to the property.
Okay, sounds perfect. Thank you, honey. Have a good day. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's again, what you hear here is a little bit of her own insecurity about the product and a lack of clarity as to what's the next step. She did properly say, I'll call you in a couple days to see what's happening. But in this case, what I would do in the just, listed, this sounds like somebody who wants product information. right? Now it sounds a little weird to me, like where's Rialto and you're calling somebody. I'd like to know what list they were calling. I mean, to be athletically ready, we got to have a Google map open too. If we're going to make a just listed call, make sure you know where it is. Have the listing sheet in front of you. Say, look, here's some of the basics, but I'm not the agent. So if you definitely, my job is to get this to you. And then if you have some interest, I'm going to tell Lena to give you a buzz. She'll fill you in with all the details because she's matchmaking here and it's working. Yeah, go ahead.
She didn't follow through on getting an email and verifying the mailing address.
Totally agreed. I think she went for the cell phone because the lady wanted to sell it. Text it, which I hate. I don't know. We're defaulting too much, Lee, to like this technology, like short stuff, but I get it. Send it over. People used to using their phones. That's fine. But if I'm going to text it over to you, I don't need to wait 2 days either, do I?
No.
Right?
But I just think that if you're circle prospecting, you're not collecting data as you're doing it. It's kind of a failure.
Well, she got the name and she got the number, so I'll take that. But I agree with you. A full-fledged contact would be everything. My preference was, since the lady was there, I'd like to mail out some information about the property too, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say, what's your best mailing address? Go ahead.
I also think there was an opportunity to close for a follow-up call very quickly.
I agree.
Especially if you're texting this over, say, hey, it sounds to me like you're really busy. Why don't I send this over to you? Let me know tell me what time you have available tomorrow. We'll set up a call. We'll hash this all out.
I'll set up a call with Lena. Boom, close. It's nothing more than an appointment, Dean, right? It's the same thing. She's going up the ladder. Give her a phone appointment. Because
don't just, if somebody gives you the opportunity to open the door and you're only on step 1 of 4, jump in.
Yeah,
they're asking for it.
I totally.
No need to waste their time, especially like you said, especially a D personality. No need to waste their time going through step 2 through 4. Hey, why don't I send
4? It doesn't matter.
That's exactly it. And I think that's the problem that I hear sometimes with some of the telemarketers. Is I saw Autumn's text in the chat early. There's no desire to be athletic. It's if I'm going to follow the script, I'm going to follow the script. And then you got to get that athletic mindset that says, oh, well, wait, look, I can jump to step 3, I can jump to step 4, whatever it is, without having to go through the other things. You never have to go back and validate yourself by saying, but I did the whole script. I got the result.
Well, that's a really important point he just made, everybody. Okay. We give you a script so you get a very particular ultimate result, which is a qualified appointment. Now, if that accordion gets squeezed down, you don't need to go through 9,000 different things to get there. If they want to deliver it to you on a silver platter, by all means. Now, there might be a beat where you slow it down and get that seller qualifying questionnaire, for example, done up so that, it's a good appointment, but you don't have to go through steps. Oh, well, you know what? I haven't hit the script today. Danny was teaching me, so let me go back in time and cause more noise, right? That's not the mindset. Mindset is wonderful. I would love to get Adam out there right now. Perfect. You know what? Adam likes to be super informed before he goes. Let me just ask you a few questions here. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. But just take it over. It's assumption at that point.
Danny, I just want to say one thing about weak language. When you use weak language, like, basically it is, or whatever it is I wrote over there, you're asking questions. You're basically asking yourself the question, like, is this good? Or
right.
Do I really think you'd be interested? And it comes off like that. So Be aware of weak language. Just be direct at all times.
Totally. You call it weak language and I call it apologetic. I totally agree. I think that's exactly right. So, all right, let me listen to the second one. Maggie, if you're here, I really wish you were, or you could open your mic.
Hello.
Hello, yes, hi. May I speak to John Pulte?
It's calling.
Hi, can you repeat that?
See, here we go again. Can you repeat that? What are we doing here? This this kind of stuff drives me mad. That's all about us. You hear that? That's all about us. If you just go. Just go. Like, worry about that later. It's almost like Alan and I were talking about this about, is telemarket. Just get people going. We can clean up the mess on aisle 5, but we still have the grocery store, right? So here we go.
Hello?
Yes. I don't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, my name is Matt.
I'm drowning. I'm drowning. Oh, thank God. God stopped it for me. I'm drowning. Hang on. Let's try this again. And I don't mean to pick on anybody. I'm just saying, like, what are we doing there? You know what I mean? And it was similar in yours. It's like, that's what it starts to sound like, where we're I mean, hello? We don't sound like pros, do we? We're pro telemarketers here. We're pro salespeople here. What are we doing? Pros don't do this kind of stuff, right? Adam, Autumn was just saying something that made me think, like, weak language, asking yourself a question makes it about you. We're losing the very platform at the TRC that we talk about. Be of service to this person. Just plow forward. Hey, it's me from here. I know this about you. I got this thing for you and I want to get it out to you. May I do that? That's all it is, right? Go with it. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it again.
Hello.
Hello, yes, hi. May I speak to John Pulte?
It's calling.
Hi, can you repeat that? Hello?
Yes. I don't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, my name is Maggie, and I'm calling with Prodigy Group of Remax.
Keep going.
What's that?
Keep going.
We are a real estate company.
Oh, if you're calling about the house that we are not going to sell it for now, maybe in the future, like in 6 or 7 months, but now we stop showing the house and we are not going to sell it, okay?
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, why didn't it sell?
Okay, I can't listen anymore. It's undertrained. It's not right. And it's as simple as going back and reading the script, right? I'm a minute into this phone call, and the easiest way to do this without dissecting everything is it's just there's no adherence to the script, so the beats aren't being found. Then she gets lost and she doesn't recognize that it's the guy's wife, especially right now. So she never made the introduction fully. She never made the offer of information, and she's already going to the second beat and she's making up her own language. So it's like, you know, it's almost like, all right, pull her out of the water, bring her back to the beach and start again. Right? I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because in the illustration here is not to pick on anybody, but I'm just saying, this is my burden. This is why I've been saying, Alina, where is Maggie? Where are Maggie's trained, her phone calls? Because here's the training issue, is that in the war, this is why I don't love role play, right? Because in the war, I can train against this one very easily. I coach against the training that's not here. The training is there must be a repetition of those words and of the order of those words so that you get used to reading them from a script, personalizing them so they don't sound read so that you can get the result you want. But this is what it sounds like when you start to do it on muscle. So I'm just going to stop it there, because if I keep letting it go, I'm going to end up saying the cornerstone was never built in this phone call. Never. And even when she realizes that Mr. Pulte is not there, this is the wife. Come on, you have to pick up on that. You got to be quicker than this on your feet to realize, oh, is this his wife? Oh, hi, Mrs. Pulte. Mrs. Pulte, like I said, I'm Maggie from Lena Chu Realty Group, from Prodigy Realty Group. The reason I was calling is because I saw your beautiful house online and I noticed it didn't sell. So I wanted to send you and Mr. Pulte some information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that? Now, it would have been a rhetorical yes. Why? Because Mrs. Pulte just said 1 minute and 3 seconds in that they're thinking about selling it in 6 months. Delicious prospect. That's exactly what we're cooking up here in this kitchen. Delicious prospects. See how important this is? And I'll guarantee you, I know where Lena does business, this is worth a lot of money, but this is the precision problem we talk about. It must be precise, okay? And since Maggie's not here to talk about it, I'm going to move on to the next one. Questions about that before I move on to another live call? Any thoughts on that? How about my peanut gallery? My gang, Autumn. I got Autumn, Ann. I got the ladies, and then I got Dean and Lee. They've been speaking up. Any peanut gallery comments there? I need some help.
Yes, I will say, like, I think hers and both mine were English may not be their first language. So it does make it a little more difficult to discuss things with them, or, you know what I mean?
You think it is until you prove you're not the problem. Then I'll agree with you. I totally agree with you. The reality of the thing is English is clearly not their first language in your case. Okay. And clearly
Right.
this gal, sounds like she might have an accent. So we can make an assumption that maybe she learned English secondarily. We can make those assumptions. That's fine. But until you are not the problem, you are the problem. Right? So in other words, we can only deal with you. We can't go coach Mrs. Pulte. Hey, Mrs. Pulte, can you speak English a little bit more clearly here? And can you get a better phone system? You follow me? So what we can deal with is what we have at our disposal, which is us. And so the first things first is, if you were impeccably perfect in your delivery of your informational beat and you closed it, and then you got to the, hey, it looks like a beautiful house, which is all that language is extremely precise and systematic, extremely. We don't want to think there. I don't want to think there. I don't want Autumn to think there. I want it to be precise because it's a law of likability. If I compliment your property, I technically compliment you. It makes me a likable character, which is a law of influence. If I can be a likable character in a few words, you're darn right I'm going there, right? Because you don't know anything about me. So I'm going to use laws to trigger likability just so you can hear me, so you don't hang up on me, right? And I don't care what language you speak. As long as you speak enough English and I'm speaking enough English, you're going to get what's in it for you. Follow me?
Yes.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying is that we can't. Those are very real factors and variables. You are right. I am not dismissing them. Those are the shadows and the attacks on a process. No doubt you're right. But fundamentally, what's off on our part is we're not sticking to the yellow brick systematic scientific approach. When we do, and that still becomes an issue, and the bad phone and the misunderstandings, sure. Now let's see how real of a pro you can be. Can you reel in that? Because I'll guarantee you in. If you can get through all those variables that are difficult, you might be the only telemarketer that can communicate with this person. You might be it. They might get 35 calls, but because you are systematic beneath it, not adding to that. See, if you start going, huh? What? Huh? Right? If you start doing that, what you're doing is you're throwing kerosene on that real variable, and it's burning up the whole process. You follow me?
Yes.
Yeah. But you bring up a great point, because we do have to deal with that. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand and say that's not the case, because it is. But it's just that fundamentally under both of your calls, hers is further off than yours because you're here every week. Right? Period. All right. Sarah Corey, you there?
I'm here, Danny.
Okay. Sarah, you sent me whose follow-up call? Who made it?
Sarah Vance.
Sarah Van, my SV.
Hi, Danny.
My girl. How are you? You ready for me?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good, thank you.
Good.
You?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Here we go, sister. Okay, let's listen. Follow-up call.
Hello.
Hi, Farah?
Yes.
Hey, it's Sarah calling you back. How are you?
Hello, Sarah. I'm good. Thank you. And yourself?
Very good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I had the girls. It was my place is all upside down, but it's all good.
Oh, it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling me back. Yeah, the reason I was calling was when we chatted last week, I was going to connect you with one of our mortgage brokers to at least start that process, just to give us a better idea of what our buying power is. Did you get a chance to connect with David?
No. No. Did I get an email from him? I got you talked to me about your Alexander Kupula, something like this.
Yeah, so I'd sent off a mortgage introduction for you and David to connect, because we were going to start there and see what our options are in terms of, whether we're going to look for a residential or we're going to look for a condo, just a kind of a starting point.
What's his last name?
David Warren.
Okay, a minute. I think I saw his name.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I haven't contacted him yet, but I should.
Yeah. When is usually the best time for you? Because what I can do is I can reach out to him to let him know the best time to reach you to have a quick conversation would be, because usually lunchtime is better for you? Lunchtime.
Lunchtime, like noon. It's just that today, I spilled over. My meeting had spilled over there.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have also another question. I just wanted to know, because I was looking at your listing that you were sending me, and I don't know, I'm a bit, I'm not impressed with the fact that those houses cost, a certain amount of money, but the bathrooms and washrooms are like back in 1980s or something.
Yeah.
That's very important for me.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to set the parameters quite loose, just so you can start to see what that real estate looks like. And as well as you're going to start to notice some of the solds, you're going to see exactly what that money's buying, right? And either it's going to motivate to change things up a little bit, but that's why we kept it quite loose, because at this point, we don't know what that real number looks like yet. Right?
And also I was wondering, do you guys, is your company also look for houses on the Quebec side, or is it only for Ontario?
No, we trade in Quebec as well. We have an agent on Zoom. His name is Antoine. So he can definitely help us with our situation once we get an idea of what that financing looks like. So let me reach out to David right now, and I'll let him know the best time to reach you. We'll start the conversation. We'll get that going, and at least based on some rough numbers, he can give us an idea. Then once we know what that price is, we can then talk about what features to look for. And that's going to be better for us once we start touring. Does that sound good?
I understand. Yes, and you can tell him that on Wednesday I will be completely almost free. I don't have anything in my calendar.
Maybe that's better then. Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe I should just look in Elmer, because I don't know. I'm not super impressed yet with Ottawa, but
Okay, let's stop it, because I got enough there to talk about it. Tell me a little bit about, and Sarah Van, you and Sarah Corey can comment on this. This is a good follow-up call on a buyer trying to, and Sarah, let me just give you a compliment. That last line there, I really liked it. Just slow it down. Because what you did was you went to the buyer infographic and you were beginning to frame her in the process. Look, once we know what you can pay, then you could have gone a little deeper too. Then what we'll do is we'll show you what's sold in both the Quebec side and the Ottawa side, because she's already telling you she doesn't like Ottawa. She's already given you a hint that she wants to be in Quebec. You've given her an answer, but you're just moving a little quickly through what she wants. Okay. And it's almost like you're sounding like, come on, girl, you got to get pre-qualified first. You know what I mean? So my gut was, why don't we just text the lender and her together if we have the cell phone? Like that's screaming to me, but I need to ask Sarah Corey and you at the same time. I mean, is there a process with which you are all trying to rigorously stay inside?
No, I would just say as long as we have their approval that we can do that, then we can. Sometimes we do an email intro, but a text intro we could do as well.
Well, this is a follow-up though, because she blew her off. So SV has, she's trying to close her. Like, come on, you got to do this. But there's a very clear adherence to making this gal do this prior to meeting with an agent. Yes or no?
I would say we usually try to, but sometimes if we usually try to have them speak with someone beforehand so that they're actually know what they can afford. Because we've had a lot of instances where we didn't do this.
Yeah.
And then they can't afford anything and they've already been out looking at houses.
Yeah, great. And this is why I ask, have you lived and learned? Is that why you're doing it this way? Okay, good. And then stick to it then. Then stick to it. Because if you do a lot of buyers off the internet, that's one of the hazards, is that you're dealing with a lot of random people. But I think, I don't know what led to this call, other than probably SV asking her, have you been pre-approved? And she said no, right? Have you owned a house before? SV, do you know any of those things about her?
Yeah, so she came in on Realtor.ca on one of our listings that had sold.
Yeah.
And so we went to the conversation of, well, why were you looking for information on this? And that's how we got into, I always ask questions about financing. Have you talked to your bank? Have you talked to a lender about what your numbers are? Because I always try to use, a home at 350 is going to be very different than a home at 450. We want to be really smart and strategize. And so let's start there. And a lot of times people are very open to having that conversation with the broker.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the only problem is it takes them out of our world and into the lender's world. That's the only problem with it. And again, it hasn't taken them completely out because here you are on top of her systematically, which is great, right? And she sounds like she's relatively real and she's trying to make some choices, and she sounds like she'd rather be in Quebec. And you answered, yeah, no problem. We have team members over there. So it's almost like, would it be harmful to introduce her to the agent over there? Would it be harmful to send her, again, ladies, here's what I'm thinking. And Autumn, I want you to hear me say this clearly, because Autumn has just begun on the buy side. When I'm this far in early on and we think this lady is there, I want a physical package sent to this lady, if it's mine. If this is an Autumn call and she's going through this and this is what we're hearing, I'm saying, did this lady get a package from us yet? I mean, to me, there's nothing better than a physical package of what the money bought in the area that she wants, the copy of our buyer plan, right? And just a cover letter about, introducing us. It changes the relationship versus just a phone call where, SB has to henpecker into getting, a mortgage approval, right? I mean, so that's, ladies, I'm just trying to get a feeling for process here, but we have a real prospect on the line. We know she's just a step away. Sarah Corey, it cost us barely anything to send a package to solidify this relationship. Sarah Van is so freaking natural with people that they almost sounded like Sarah Van, you're probably the only person that I would let get away with that in a sales training call, right? Hey, how you doing? How's the kids? Because you move so swiftly through it. You're just so good at it. But it's just, that's the speed with which you talk. You don't get all bogged down and weird, like, let's have a cup of tea about it. It's just, for you, it's a natural warmer upper, and then boom, I'm going to slap you because you didn't get this done yet. So you're one of the very few people I train that I think can get away with it, right? But the next thing is, wonderful. I'm going to text this guy right now with your number on there. I'm going to poke you both to make sure you get this done. I'm going to call you Thursday to make sure that you met. So you can set her up for a very definitive ending to this pre-approval conversation that needs to happen. Oh, and by the way, tell me again, you want to specifically be in what part of Quebec? Okay. And what do you think your price range might be? Let's take a guess right now, because I want to send you about 4 or 5 properties that sold, pictures and details to see if that's the kind of stuff you would have bought, right? So let's get her warmed up. Right. And maybe even introduce her to an agent via the phone, online, or something. Let's bull rush this thing, because I think the danger is, ladies, for both of you, if this gal's just sitting there and this is all about the lender, we're often a third party. And I don't love that, because we're not continuing to attach her to us. You follow me?
I follow you.
Okay. I mean, thoughts. Give me thoughts. Really, it was what I should have said. Both of you, give me your thoughts on that. I mean,
so when I do introduce a second person into the picture, like whether it's a mortgage broker or I ask for an OSA to tag team with me, because of my infusion stuff, I know when to follow up with David. Like, what's really nice about the mortgage brokers that we work with is they're on top of their stuff. So when he emails her or calls her, I get CC'd on stuff, so I know where to go with that.
Good.
Right. So I stay organized that way. That's why I never let people, especially if I've taken them over this hoop, I know I've got to check in with her on that Friday, or David will give me an update on that Friday.
Yeah. The only thing I would add, I think you do that perfectly well. And I know between you and Sarah, you're on your game when it comes to systematic follow-up. The only thing I just like to see here is I'd like to see a bigger use of the productized information packages. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, they just look like this, right? It's just a package of information. So on the buy side, let me see if I can open one up here. I mean, it's really, the buy side one is very similar to the sell side. So she would get something like this, in the mail, which would change the relationship with her. I don't have the cover letter in here, but she would get a market update, right? She would get 5 or 6 of the properties that sold in that area in Quebec that she was interested in, complete with pictures and details, everything that they want. She would get also, because she's a buyer, some for sales, right, too. She would get a copy of the buyer infographic. She would get a copy of the full buyer magazine. That changes the relationship with her, right? That locks it in. And I think maybe there's a judgment moment in time, Sarah Corey and Sarah Van, where you say, yep, I think, based on what I know about her job and what she's done in the past, I have a feeling that she's going to be pre-qualified pretty easily. Let's get a package out to her. Sure, I think it's a judgment case, but I think, she's already questioning whether or not you're the agency for her because she just revealed it to you. Do you do Ottawa? So I wouldn't take anything for granted, right? I think your follow-up with the lender and her is great, but I'm just saying there's just something amazingly powerful about the delivery of information. Make sense, ladies?
Yeah, that's huge. We're definitely trying to incorporate more of sending out people the buyer packages.
Yep.
The same way as, the importance of when we're doing the seller package.
Well, Sarah, it helps you convert, right? It helps you because it just changes your relationship with her. You're not just a voice on the phone, and you could pop a little card with your picture on it in there too, or whatever happens just to personalize that. I call it the safety net beneath the telemarketing message. You are telemarketing your service and your message of a plan. But if you deliver it physically, then that's just another medium that puts a safety net of information beneath you so that if she doesn't get him and she goes to Quebec for the weekend and she bumps into a realtor at an open house and they snatch her away. You know what I mean? The more you can make her feel served, the more naturally obligated she will make herself to you.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just the way we would do it. If I gave you a gift of information, I could train you all week long. But if I sent you a gift to your house of information, said, Sarah, here's the thing. By the way, Sarah, don't expect a gift from me. Okay. That's Sarah Corey's. That's her job. She sends you gifts for me. Okay. But I mean, imagine me sending you something that was really in it for you. And then we're talking at the same time. It changes the relationship, which is why I love to send my past clients real gifts because it keeps the relationship in a state of appreciation. I don't want them to forget how much I appreciated that moment. It's very authentic. It's very real. And that pulls up, the sides of the crib to keep the loyalty in a professional context around us, or at least give me the shot again for a referral or repeat. So very important piece here that I think needs to be taught and trained more and more. All right. I got Russell. I'm going to go overtime a little bit and then I've got to split. Russell, you with me, buddy boy?
Yeah.
Okay, pal. Let's do this one. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Agnes.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Russell with Weisbarth and Associates.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just calling because I saw you had registered on our property search website. I wanted to make sure you're getting the right properties. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Great. So the area of choice I see here is around Kent. Is that correct?
I'm open. I'm open to because I'm looking for like a business home, like for adult family home.
Okay, adult family home.
That's what I'm looking for.
All right. So you're pretty open to like the different areas. Like, what do you have anything specific in mind?
I'm pretty open, so that's why I'm trying to see if those houses are available and if there's how a builder starts to like build house specifically for that kind of job.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of price range did you have in mind?
I don't know. At least something between 300 and 400.
300 and 400. Yeah, that's in this current market, it's a little difficult to find like a single family home in that price range. But it depends on the area as well. So you're pretty open.
Did you say it's hard to find with that price range? What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. You're looking in Washington, right? Washington State, around the Seattle area?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the area that you're looking for and the size of the home. Have you been pre-approved already? You talked to a lender about that?
I have not.
Okay, because interest rates are pretty low now. With the programs that are available, you might be able, for a similar monthly payment from before, you might be able to get some, a higher price range which would be easier to find in this market because it's a very competitive market right now.
Yes, I know. Yes.
So the reason you're looking is to start an adult family home, right? That's your main reason?
Yes, that's my main reason.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to find this home?
I would want in the next 1 to 2 months.
Good.
Well, that's pretty soon. Okay, so you're looking to buy as soon as you find the right home then?
Yes, as soon as I'm able to get the right home.
Do you have another home that you might need to sell first?
I do. I'm in Texas. I have no intention of selling my home right now.
Okay. So you'll be keeping that, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, do you have a realtor to help you out when the time is right?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a realtor here in Washington?
I've been talking to Keller Williams, so I just need to find out if there's somebody there who can do that. But I'm open. I'm also open on that.
You're open. So you're not 100% committed. You haven't, committed to anything with them?
No, okay. I have not.
Well, we'd be happy to, show you what we could do differently. We're in the top 1% of real estate brokers.
Oh, don't do that.
We sell more homes than 90% of the real estate.
It was going so well. Russell, it was going so well. Why are you doing this right here?
That's what Doran taught us.
Oh.
They're talking to another agent or something.
It's so insecure. It's awful. You can tell him I said that. You can tell him I said, listen to how good this is up into 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Then now I want to throw up in my mouth. You did such a beautiful job of serving this lady. This is the best call I have heard from you in a long time. You are genuinely caring for this lady. You're actually using the level of your expertise that you've accumulated without going too far, right? I like the coaching about, that's you're starting to put it together. She's in Texas, so she thinks she can go to Seattle, Washington and buy some for $300,000, $400,000. She's delusional. But if you get her pre-qualified and you find out what's going on here, you could go a little bit deeper with, well, why are you trying to come all the way across the country to do this? Get a little bit more curious because you can find out if she's for real. She has a real reason, but why are you coming all the way over here to do it? Right? Yeah. That's the only thing I can find missing here. But this 1% resume stuff is unnecessary. It's just not necessary. She's already said she's open. Just keep doing what you're doing and close this lady with your offer. I mean, resume is not important until it's important. If somebody says, who the hell are you? Because Keller Williams is a long resume, then you say something like this. But to insert it here on such a beautiful job, really, you've evolved it yourself so beautifully here. This is the real Russell right here. Bravo. Like, I love this call. That's why I was so quiet. I was just like, wow, what a genuine of service voice he has here. This is the real Russell. He's relaxed. He's listening. He's going back and forth. He gets a little off script, a couple spots, but not bad. Then he's right here again. Let me ask you this on a scale of 1 to 10. And she doesn't answer with the 1 to 10, but she gives you what you wanted. 1 to 2 months. Holy shit. Alarm goes off. Close this lady. Do you have a realtor to help you? Well, not Keller Williams, but I'm there. I'm open because they're not really helping her. You can tell. They don't have her. Like I said to Ann, like, you might be the only one that can solve helping this person. Right? So let's see if you can recover from this.
Okay. And part of that reason is we put together a pretty good system for our buyers to make sure you are successful once you do find a good deal, because I'm not sure what the market's like in Texas, but over here in Seattle, it's a very competitive market.
Good recovery.
There's a lot of multiple offer situations, and homes get sold right away. So it's important to have a really good plan. I'd like to get you connected with one of my business partners, one of the agents in our team, and they'll be able to go over the plan that we put together for our buyers. But also, they'll also be able to set up a search for you directly on the Northwest MLS. That's the main source for all the homes for sale in our area. That way you'll get priority access to all the new listings the moment they become available. And you'll know about them before they show up on any of the public websites out there.
Really? That's nice, because I know the houses are really go moving fast.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens with the public websites? They actually pull their information from this.
You don't
source,
need
the
this.
Northwest MLS.
You don't need this.
So there's always like a lag or time.
You don't need
difference
this.
for
Too
their
much.
sites.
Close.
If you have the search set up directly, it'll just notify you right away as soon as something in your criteria becomes available.
So how soon is one? How? Okay, depending on the bidding, I'm sure people bid. So how guaranteed am I that if I pick a particular house, I can get it?
Close.
You know, there's of course in life there's nothing's ever guaranteed.
No.
Yeah,
we
there's
put together.
No. Close.
You know, if you can maybe meet with do a virtual meeting with one of our agents or one of our business partners they'll be able to.
I know you do, but it's like, woo, come on, close.
Well, too much talk opens up cans of worms.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have it's not 100% guaranteed, but we have a pretty good success rate of over 80% of winning the properties.
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear 100% from me.
Are you more available mornings or afternoons? What's normally a good time for you?
I think because I work during the day, evenings would be better for me.
Evenings, okay.
Yes.
And you're in Texas, right? So Central Time.
Yes. Right now here it's like 8:30. Yes.
8:30. So would 8 o'clock be a good time?
Okay, stop. Tell me, Russell, did they meet with an agent?
Yeah.
What happened?
They're working on their pre-approval now.
Okay, good. You did a good job here. Clearly, there's wastes of time in here at this second beat. Remember, 348, other than that terrible resume line, you recovered beautifully. You went back to what's in it for her. The word plan was very powerful. And if I can just get you on the phone with an agent, they'll get you set up with our plan. Can I do that? Close. All this other stuff, like she loved your offer. You've been working on saying that offer, that Northwest MLS, beat people before the public website. Really? Yes, and you can have it now. So what's the best time that I could put you on the phone with one of the agents to get you set up on it immediately? Close. All the rest of it is insecurity. And worse, like Autumn said, your words are taking her from that crescendo, really? Down. We're going backwards when you start to talk, nothing's guaranteed in life. What? Holy shit, dude, I would pick your pocket like the Artful Dodger was taught by Fagin in Oliver Twist. I would pull it right out of your pocket and walk away with her if you ever let me have that kind of a gap, right? Just wouldn't happen because I would say, don't worry about it. Let's first get you pre-approved. Let's get a real number. Let's see what that number really matches up with, and you will not lose with me. You will get what you want. That's how I talk to people because it's true. I will. And I do. So be careful of that weird language that gets all like, well, there's nothing guaranteed. You don't even know that. You're in the Philippines making a promise of an appointment and access to MLS, and you crushed it. 100% you crushed it. You got a yes. You got a really? That was awesome. But where are you going? You're trying to play agent in the second beat, and you're hurting it. I know you were still effective, just like Ann, but I'm after you all are pros as far as I'm concerned. We need to set a new standard for ourselves. That's what we're up against. There's no need for all that stuff. And there was no need for resume because she wasn't really saying, well, I'm really with Keller Williams and they're going to say, it just wasn't appropriate, right?
Yeah.
You didn't need it.
It was a knee-jerk reaction.
I know. I got from training, and there are times where Duran would be 100% right. That they need to know who the hell are you if they ask. Cool?
Yeah.
Good job, Russell, though. I really, really like this call today. I really do. I just love that beginning. I just think there's some fat in there. And I'm being dramatic to illustrate the point because if you look at the productivity and the scientific approach, at 3 minutes and 46 seconds, dude, you are there. You could close. But I'm all the way in the 6 minute plus range now because you took this accordion and you stretched it out in a weird moment, right? You repeated stuff. And when you repeated it about the benefit, it wasn't as good as the first time. And then you started to say weird things like, well, there's nothing guaranteed. Now you're just really going downhill, right? No need for it. Now, the good news is she didn't spit the hook but she didn't sound as excited as really, because she ends with, oh, follow?
Yeah.
Okay, don't be the problem when you were the success. But I love this call. Super evolution for you. Stay in that mode and you'll be wildly successful. Carla, you sent one in late. Can I hear both sides?
No, Danny, I didn't send a recording because Kyle's on his way with a whole brand new audio for me.
Awesome.
I sent a photo for you of what my desk looks like. I thought it might help. I was listening with what Ann had to say. This helps me immensely.
Cool.
That's what my computer desk looks like. You'll see your picture. I just took a photo of it.
All right, hang on.
So anyways, it's got beat 1, it's got beat 2. It's all in front of me, Ann, so I can't miss it. I even wrote to myself, go to beat 2, because I think what happens to all of us, I could be wrong, is a lot of people do let us get through beat 1. So repetition, we're saying that so much that we're not necessarily always getting to beat 2 unless it's a really good, strong call. So that's where you want to practice the most. And I do role playing at home a little bit just to get used to, by the way, beautiful home, looks like beautiful property. Why are you trying to sell? To kind of get myself those, keep it going. But I have like lines on my paper and I don't, it works for me, but to stay athletic, it really makes, there it is.
Did you see
That's my desk. That's how I keep.
And you got that homely looking guy smack dab in the middle of it. Come on, you're real. You should have put something beautiful up there instead of that ugly soul. Yeah. Well, I like that. I mean, that works for you, right? That's perfect.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Well, you know what it is? It's almost like what this looks like here where I am too, Carla. It's like I am tight in a little spot like that, a little desk where, again, it's more the equipment than it is anything else. But for me, all my stuff is right there on the laptop that I could refer to. So I love this. So good for you. And I'm totally looking forward to hearing your calls. And I love I love your enthusiasm. And so looking forward to this. But this is exactly, and this is what I mean. I mean, she's there. She's those are her cheat sheets, right? It just, because again, it's very easy to get caught up in the drama of the other side of the phone. Very easy, right? It's very easy. But on this side of the phone, if we're the problem, well, let's fix that first. That's the easy part, right?
Right.
So, all right, everybody, listen, bravo. This is awesome. I mean, I really got to say, I'm just so proud of all of you that are willing to come in here and be super coachable. It is not easy to be coachable. And I am an aggressive one because I care about you and I care about your success. And I'm a super big believer in efficiencies. And that's why I might throw a little drama in there, but don't let anybody like that is not in the hot seat with me dive over your body anymore. Okay. I'm proud of all of you that keep throwing yourselves out here and have recorded calls listened to, because it's not easy. Nobody loves the sound of their own voice. And we get embarrassed when we hear ourselves talk, but man, am I proud of you all for fighting for it. And that's why I think you're all being effective. You're fighting for learning. At the very core though, is remember, training is to protect you. And I'm coaching against that training. So I'm always going to go back. That's why I said to Maggie, just start over again. I'm going to pull you out of the water and go back, make your desk look like this and read this stuff, right? Because otherwise you're trying to swim on muscle. And when you swim on muscle, you will drown. All right, everybody, listen, have a fabulous weekend. Loved this call today. Good rhythm. Keep sending those calls in and we'll keep making them better. Okay?
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.